Is the control room ready to proceed with launch?
Controls go.
Let's launch D2.
We are exploring near the northern boundary of Papahānaumokuākea. We'll make our way up to the summit, trying to get a better sense of the distribution and biodiversity of the life here on this seamount.
Whoa, what is that?
I have never seen one of those anywhere near that big.
What is it?
It's a solitary hydroid.
Whoa. Stop the ship. We want to look at the hydroid.
Solitary hydroids are not all that rare, but normally they're on the order of like 20 centimeters. It's over 1 meter in diameter.
That's wild.
What is that? It's a scale worm.
No.
That's a scale worm living in it.
It's basically everything out here that's standing up off of the bottom is potential habitat.
This is unbelievable. I'm just going to throw that out there.
Concur. This is pretty amazing.
So we're dealing with probably 90 million years of sedimentation filling in this depression and covering up the things that are at the bottom.
We're diving on the Murray Fracture Zone, or the kind of the extreme western end of it. This fracture zone runs from almost the coast of California all the way here to the Hawaiian Islands. It's one of the larger fracture zones in the North Pacific. For the most part, this end is completely unexplored to our knowledge, so this will be some of the first imagery ever collected in this fracture zone, certainly at this depth. It's really even hard to see even with the excellent zoom and lighting on this vehicle, but all that kind of mucousy looking stuff on the rocks is signs of life. These are different animals, bacterias, but some of these areas are exceedingly biodiverse in the microscopic kind of environment, rivaling coral reefs and tropical rainforests in some places. So even though we're not seeing a lot of individual organisms, or they're hard to see, there's signs of life all over here.
Oh yeah, the deep sea is teeming with life. It's just tiny and we need microscopes to look at it.
Pilot has control. Pull the pin.
I love the anticipation before we zoom in on stuff.
Okay, coming a little bit more.
Coming in? It's a shark.
It is a shark.
No way. So I'm super stoked to see a shark out here because the next closest point of land is currently this place called Kamoku'okamohoali'i, or Maro Reef. And Kamohoali'i in Hawaiian tradition is a shark deity who is also brother to the lava goddess Pele. And he was the one that helped Pele get to Hawaii because he helped direct her canoe when she came up from Tahiti here.
Look at them all. This is definitely Dr. Seuss energy again. Wow.
I mean, if this is what we're seeing on this transect, I can't imagine how many there might be on the seamount. Though I don't know, maybe we move around the ridge arm and all of a sudden they go away.
That wouldn't surprise me at all.
This is a stocked crinoid.
That is correct.
Look at all those fuzzy things it has.
So the fuzzy is 2 feet.
Wow.
It's 2 feet.
Look at
Oh my gosh. We don't usually see the crinoids with the fuzzies.
Yeah, that's an angle we don't normally get.
I've never seen the fuzzies because those don't fossilize. This is so cool.
Yeah, these are the type of observations you can only get with an ROV. And only an ROV with very sophisticated cameras and lighting. You know, this is really critical insights into kind of the ecology here of seeing the parasites, but also the behavior and the physiology of the fine and soft parts of the crinoid that don't always survive preservation and recovery from other sampling methods.
I mean, it's invaluable to be able to ground truth what we think is going on ecologically with observations like this that give us a whole view into the rich world of crinoid feet.
We are diving on an unnamed seamount that we're calling northwest of Voldor Seamount.
It's an underwater volcano that never quite made it to the surface.
We're just getting to the bottom and I can already see corals.
Wondering if the crinoids will show up again. A stalked crinoid! I get really excited about these because I'm a paleontologist, and crinoids were very abundant in the Paleozoic. We get a lot of them fossilized super well. And for a long time we thought that they went extinct, but now that we're exploring the deep sea, we've been seeing lots of extant crinoids, and it's kind of like seeing a living fossil.
In the deep sea, we see a lot of very old organisms that have been unchanged for long periods of time. Slow metabolisms, no exposure to solar radiation to generate mutations seem to make for a very slow rate of evolutionary change down here. It's like visiting a museum or taking a time machine back to an older time period.
That's part of why I went into paleontology, because I'm really curious about stories and history, and it's a really great way to tell the story of life on Earth. There's a saying in Hawaiian, he puko'a kaniaina, which sometimes gets translated as from a coral polyp an island grows, and we think about that in terms of not just the structure of the island itself, like the coral literally forming the island that we live on, but also the animals and ecosystems that they help to establish.
Yeah.
And this feels like that.
Every coral you see has something living on it, and that kind of tight association falls in some category there of symbiosis. It's rare to find corals, frankly, that don't have something living in it.
Is it a hermit crab?
It is.
Stop.
It is. This is the
Oh my God.
hermit crab with the biggest of its camouflage.
Chris Moss says it's the Lady Gaga of hermit crabs.
USS Yorktown was the lead aircraft carriers commissioned into the U.S. Navy in 1937. Notably, it played a vital role in the Battle of the Coral Sea. Although Yorktown was damaged, she managed to return to Pearl Harbor for emergency repairs. Yorktown sailed to take part in the crucial Battle of Midway in June of 1942. Her air squadrons helped sink several Japanese carriers and turn the tide of the Pacific forward. However, Yorktown herself was struck by 3 bombs and 2 torpedoes during the battle. Yorktown sank the next morning. This is June 7th, 1942, becoming a symbol of sacrifice and also resilience. But many of the battle's mysteries went down with the ship, and as we continue to explore, more questions rise.
For the third time in 27 years that people have been to this site. Can we get a glimpse of this potential piece of aircraft?
All right, video. Come on in. That looks familiar, huh?
It looks like a wink.
It is. It is.
Fantastic.
Wow.
That's the national insignia right there. Oh, if only we could get inside there, but that's really something. We're just setting up for a fairly daring maneuver here to drop down inside the hangar deck through this number 2 elevator shaft. There is a painted mural that we have only seen like a partial image of it in photograph.
Wow, that's a great shot, guys.
Oh, such good piloting.
This is the first time we're seeing this whole image. This is history in the making. Bravo Zulu, guys!
Warships tend to be a very stark, utilitarian space, and this is something that the crew used to personalize it.
Did you guys zoom in on that deliberately?
Maybe just a little bit.
Maybe.
You are here.
Coming up to the roll-up doors, which is right where we saw the car.
Oh wow, that's such a good view.
Now that's just amazing. Here we go.
Alright, let's come in there. Video.
It kind of does look like a Woody. Certainly the window patterns to the top match. Now we just need a license plate.
There's a license plate.
It looks like ship service. I think it's very important that we keep recognizing the fact as we move through this ship, as we've seen in other spots, that these are places where incredible acts of valor, service, and sacrifice did take place.
That's a plane.
That's a plane.
That's definitely a plane.
Whoa.
Oh, it's B5 for bombing 5.
There's a tire there.
Yeah, so I think this is actually two different aircraft.
It's an overturned aircraft.
This is the first time we have actually seen aircraft associated with the Battle of Midway on any of these wreck sites. This is game-changing in terms of our understanding of these sites and in terms of the level of discovery. It speaks again to the aspects of this battle, which was not only between ships, but aircraft. So thanks.
We're about 70 nautical miles away from Midway Island, or Kauai. And the goal is to characterize some of the life here in one of the least explored regions of the ocean. This is a foram. It's so beautiful. Oh my god, there's so many. I never have ever gotten to see one of these alive in my entire 12 years of working on forams. They've always been dead husks. Forams are unicellular protists that make shells. They grow by adding on chamber by chamber in different directions, but they're super cool because you can use the shell to track their entire life history in the water column. And because forams build their shells as they're growing, they're really good tracers of past environments. Aloha mai kākou, mai kahikino kalai hae hae.
Alright, pilot has control. Pull the pin.
Good morning, everybody. Today we will be exploring a southwestern ridge arm on Wentworth Seamount. This is northwest of Kauai, or Midway Atoll. Happy Earth Day. My favorite holiday.
%70 of the Earth's surface is water.
Mm-hmm.
And, you think of how easy it is to go outside and take a walk or a hike and to go experience nature there. You can't do that here. Every time we come out here, in any of these spaces, whether it's Papahānaumokuākea or elsewhere, we find something potentially new, and that's incredibly exciting.
Oh my gosh. If you look at Sirius's camera, I think it's on camera 2, the view of this rock is incredible. The vertical height of this, if you were just to draw a straight line, is about 15 meters, which is huge.
Yeah, it's almost 45 feet.
This is great. This really has everything for the geologists and the biologists. We are all very happy with this site. So many people in here right now just staring at the screen going, ah! Oh, this is the best.
Pilot has control.
Pull the pin.
Today we are exploring an unnamed seamount northwest of Holaniku, also known as Kure Atoll.
There's something on the rock at the base. Yeah, I'm confused. Because it kind of looks like chitons, but I can't explain what the rest of that is.
Chris Ma is saying they look like predatory chitons.
Predatory chitons? That's not a term I'm familiar with.
They apparently hold up their mantles and feed.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
That's new for me. I've never seen anything like that one before.
So is all of that we're looking at, that's
the mantle?
That's the mantle?
The kite? Yeah. I've only known them as like in rocky intertidal zone where they just kind of eat algae and slowly crawl in like a snail. And I've seen them in similar kind of growth forms eating detritus in the deep sea. But the idea of one that sits there and ambushes but sets like a, cartoon style trap where it puts its mantle up high and just waits for something to find out and collapses its mantle on it is crazy.
Yeah.
And for having never seen one in the deep sea and then seeing dozens of them during this cruise.
So many.
Today's dive has been crazy.
Yeah, they seem to be like one of the more dominant parts of the fauna and parts of the dive. Like, what?
They're at 540 meters, and we're going up to about 370 meters. This is going to be our shallowest dive of the expedition. We can already see new species of fish and coral and stuff like that at these depths that we haven't seen elsewhere.
Ooh, that was close. Good try, buddy.
These kind of shallow seamounts have a unique place in the Pacific Ocean and may be particularly important for conservation and proper management.
Yeah, it's a good heading there. Looking good.
Copy that. Ooh, nice. Lots of tips in the water.
So I'm really excited about these dives because these features are very small, very geometric, and I bet we can count on two hands the number of times any feature in the whole world like this has ever been visited. So I'm kind of looking forward to it.
So yeah, this is a really beautiful view of a large field of pillow basalts.
Quite steep.
Yeah, so steep.
So these black kind of lines all over the rocks here are, we think, are some type of feeding trace. So that would be some kind of detritivore moving across the sediments, slurping up what it finds. It would be interesting to see if we can locate the individual making those traces.
Oh, a snail!
This is an interesting answer to the question we were having about seeing these clean pieces on the rock, and I have to admit I was expecting something bigger.
Oh my gosh, this is so cool to get to see it feeding.
So this is a tumbling snail.
Wow, it's really going.
They'll go for a long time too.
Gastropods, I think, from the deep sea are not particularly... They're not very well studied.
Corals and sponges have definitely gotten the most attention because of their role as habitat engineers, their size, and things like that. The corals and sponges are over-collected as a percentage of deep-sea specimens. A lot of these other organisms, the echinoderms, the mollusks, are even under-collected compared to those taxa.
It's important to have more sampling effort go towards the less charismatic fauna so that we can start to figure out the broader ecosystem diversity and function that we're getting in these different depths.
I think I would like to sample this piece. Stoloniferans are exceedingly hard to sample because they're generally on the rock. Having an opportunity to collect a stoloniferan when it's on something like this is a valuable opportunity. If we are correct and this is a primnoid skeleton underlying it, they can be brittle.
Alright, we will give this a sample.
It's always an amazing thing to see the challenges of working with no stereo vision with a 200-pound arm trying to pick up something that only weighs a few grams.
Joseph, nice drop.
I'm just so amazed with the fine motor control of D2 and D2's pilots.
Surgery is certainly not in my future. My hands are shaking up here.
That was incredible.
Oh, that one might be loose.
I think now it is rock or claw.
That's massive.
It is big.
Good rock.
Wow. Is it possible?
You got a rock.
Did not think we would. That will really help with aging the seamount and figuring out how it formed. I can't believe that we got to see the pilots pick up the teeniest little fragile piece of dead coral with the stoloniferan on it and that giant rock all in the same dive. That was a really nice showcase.
You know, Bobby, whoever gets the sample has to bring it in, right?
Yeah, Bobby.
You gotta hold it. You gotta get the fellow out.
You have to hold it like a fish.
It's decently heavy.
There's something like 100,000 seamounts in the world, depending on which model and which definition you use. We spent most of our dives this expedition visiting different seamounts. You can look at them by depth, by shape, by latitude, by ocean, by current regime, by primary production, and all these different things affect deep sea life. Thinking about the deep sea and the role it plays for the globe, it has a whole bunch of provisioning services and different climate regulating services, from carbon sequestration to renutrifying water. Deep sea water is upwelling near the coast, bringing nutrients and oxygens into the shallow waters. And what makes that water so valuable to fisheries happens here in the deep sea. It's the microbial processes that happen in the sediment and the crust. It's the corals and the communities they support. They're what turns the water into these super valuable and nutrient-rich waters that then come up and fuel the vast majority of the world's fisheries.
This is one of the highest density communities I've ever just landed on. Used to having to find them.
Wow. Oh my gosh. And not just one type of coral, a whole forest of so many types.
Yeah, the diversity here is impressive, as well as the abundance.
Watch leads, we're going to have to back off this area. There's quite a bit of current down here, and I think we're seeing Sirius get blown off. For now, I'm going to have to back up and look at things that are closer.
Yeah, sounds good. And also good to know about the current. That's super awesome data. Thanks, Bobby. Papahānaumokuākea is an ancestral place for Hawaiians, and it's a place where we expect to see the many faces of Kanaloa, or one of the Hawaiian deities who represents the natural phenomena of the deep ocean. And one of the many body forms of Kanaloa is the currents, and that's part of the reason why Kanaloa is a deity who's often associated with navigation. We say oftentimes, Ola Ikeaua Kanaloa, and what that means is there's life in Kanaloa's currents. And I think we're seeing that here, where this really strong current, one of these body forms of Kanaloa, is bringing so much food and so much life to this community and making this seafloor extremely diverse and abundant. It's been a real privilege and a pleasure to get to see all the different faces of Kanaloa on this expedition. Thank you, pilots, for navigating in this really strong current. They've been spoiling us. This is all really hard work and very incredible. They make it look so easy.